Are you afraid of snakes? What happens when you're just walking along minding your own business when seemingly out of nowhere a snake appears? What's your reaction? Are you scared? Do you jump? Do you run? Well, that's today's experiment. I have a snake here. I'm going to be placing that out into the field here, and I'm not going to be capturing your reaction. I'm going to see what the animals on my farm, the wild animals that come past my trail cameras, what's going to be their reaction when they see this snake laying there in front of them. Now, before we start this experiment, I want to give you a little bit of the backstory on how I came up with this idea and why I want to see if the animals in my area are scared of a snake. Now, I know you're probably not afraid of snakes, or at least you're not admitting it. I myself, I'm not terrified of snakes, but I certainly do not enjoy my encounters with them. I know there are people out there that really do enjoy working with snakes or seeing them or their encounters and seeing different species. This all started several months ago. I was hunting with a friend of mine. We were hunting some public land in an area we were not familiar with. We hunted all day, and at the end of the day, it was dark, and I got out of my stand, and I was going to be meeting my friend at a location we had chose earlier in the day. As I was walking towards that location, we were maybe a quarter mile apart from each other, walking through the dark woods. I had just my headlamp on. I was walking down this trail that wasn't very wide and actually had grass and a lot of brush all around me. As I was walking, I heard a slight noise above me and then something hitting the ground directly beside me. It didn't necessarily startle me, but it stopped me in my tracks to see exactly what happened or what had dropped. And when I turned my head and my headlamp hit directly beside me, it was a snake. Now that put me in high gear. I did not enjoy the thought of that snake being above me and then falling out of the air and almost hitting me or landing right beside me. I don't think the snake had any bad intentions, but I sure was not sticking around to find out what he had in mind. I was out of there and made excellent time to our meeting location. I was in high gear. Well, that left me wondering, what do wild animals do when they encounter a snake? In this instance, it's going to be a fake snake, but are they going to hightail it out of there like the hunting farmer did? Are they going to be curious and investigate further? Are they going to attack it? I don't know, but we're going to find out because I'm going to set up this fake snake and some trail cameras, and we're going to capture exactly what happens. Now, this location right along a field edge here, I've had a trail camera for many, many years. There's a lot of different species of animals, from fox and predators and raccoons and possum, the neighbors' cats and dogs. There's deer and coyotes. You name it, it has came past this exact area over the past couple years. In fact, this is a pretty active trail camera. Now, to simply place this snake on the ground here, I'm afraid the animals are going to see it from far away and not even come close to the trail camera. Then we won't be able to get to see their reaction. My idea to combat that is to put a pile of straw here and place my snake in this straw. Many animals are curious when they see that straw, or they want to come and investigate. When they do that, hopefully they're going to come face to face with our fake snake. I'm going to have the trail cameras rolling on video mode and capture their reaction. So the stage is set, the snake is there, I got the cameras on. I cannot wait to see what happens. Luckily, you don't have to. So up to this point, none of the animals seemed to be real scared of my snake. Now the deer were curious and the fox had to check it out too. The skunk didn't seem to pay any attention. The raccoon acted like it wanted to chew on it. And them crows, well, they definitely weren't impressed, but they didn't seem scared. Now I just can't leave well enough alone, so I gotta add a little bit of motion to this snake. So I started gathering materials for the build. Of course, I needed a portable power station to give me juice out here at this remote location. I had scavenged around the farm and found an old farm motor that was going to give me the motion. I also used a PIR sensor off an old floodlight. That was going to allow me to only have motion when the animals walked in front of it. I wired all this together to see if it would work. I cut off the tail of the snake and placed it on my motor, and that was going to give me my motion. So with portable power, a PIR sensor off a floodlight, and an old farm motor, this snake should have some movement when the animals walk in front of it. Now let's see what happens. Well, that's going to be a wrap on my snake experiment. Adding movement definitely changed the attitude of the animals. They weren't sticking around, well, except for that one possum. He was quite brave, acted like he wanted to attack the moving snake. But overall, a lot of the animals definitely shied away when there was movement. I didn't capture any deer. I think my sensor, it was really hard to get set up just right, and I think it was triggering when the deer were too far out. They were spooking away and the trail camera was not capturing them. And finally, when my power pack went completely dead and there was no movement on the snake, the skunk took full advantage of that situation, and of course other animals moved right back in. Overall, still a very fun experiment. If you enjoyed this and want to see more videos like this, check out the description below. I'll have a link there to more videos. There will also be some listed right here. Feel free to check them out. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.